Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hammer. Oh, Jesus, I did it again. Hey, welcome back to the Morgan Monroe State Forest. It is a Saturday morning, and we are out here to do the live on the air. Let's have fun, ham radio, get together for this weekend. And I got to take these things out. There we go. Sorry about that. I am using the headphones. I've got a little bit of audio to play today, and I was just doing the Bluetooth headphones. Problem with those, obviously, those are my hearing aids too. They're the mic. These are the Pro 2s, and Apple got those FDA approved as hearing aids, which is cool and it's great. But right now they're in noise cancellation mode, and in some cases that's great right now because I'm out here in the forest. I want to obviously make sure that I'm hearing everything around me and good. So we'll go ahead and forego those for right now, but I have them here and I'll put them back in when we play a little bit of video. But going through here real quick. Good morning, Robert. Robert checking in from Alabama this morning, saying America. Robert checking in this morning from New Jersey. Good morning, Robert. Bob Stone checking in from Las Vegas. Good morning, Bob. Got Aaron checking in this morning from Kentucky. Good morning, Aaron. And guys don't know it. So August is the Huntsville Ham Fest. September, the Kentucky group is going to be hosting a big POTA camp out at a campsite. Well, actually, at a state park just kind of southeast of Louisville, kind of in between Louisville and Lexington down there. So I will be there for that. So I'm looking forward to it. Steve checking in this morning. Good morning, Steve. 45 Auto checking in this morning. Good morning. Just Joe checking in from this morning says, good morning, Tim from KQ4YYN, Joe in Georgia and family. Well, good morning, Joe and family. Finally made it up early enough for the free food. Yeah, there you go. And I did have a question for the group. So I started this, at 9 o'clock in the morning a little while ago. About a year and a half now. Jody says he's crop dusting as he passes through on his way to bed. Have a great activation, Tim. Well, good morning, and I guess good night, Jody. Get a good night's sleep. I'm sure all the fireworks from down south were keeping you guys up. So, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Kelly checking in this morning. Good morning, Kelly. And George checking in this morning from Virginia. Yes. Colonel Virginia. And I'll tell you what, I was stationed in Virginia back when I was a young guy, a young lad. It was a very brief time. Went from my school, my little over a year-long school up in Great Lakes, or Great Mistakes, as we called it, Illinois, and then transferred to this little base squeezed in between the swamp and the beach south of Virginia Beach called Dam Neck. And that was a fun time. My time there was short. It was like 6, 7, 8 months, somewhere in there. It wasn't super long. I was there specifically to go to school, and but got an opportunity, spent a lot of time down there, a lot of time up in Virginia Beach, over in Norfolk or Norfolk, as the people like to call it. And then so about 4 hours from where you're at. So you must, okay. So must be on the opposite, either up north or on the opposite end of the state. but really liked it there. I'm not gonna lie. What was I 18 years old, 18 going on 19. I might have been out in some cornfields drinking beer, which isn't an uncommon thing from where I'm from. So fit right in. So okay, north of there. Paige checking in this morning from Louisville, Kentucky. So good morning. So back out here today at the Morgan Monroe State Forest, I've got the ICOM IC7300 Mark II, which I really enjoy using. Two things, definitely. One is the ability to bring the display right into the stream, which I think is good. And the 891 is nice and it's convenient. I'm not knocking it, but I have to take a camera view of that display, and it's just old. It's a basic radio. It's not flashy, where the display of the 7300 is quite a bit nicer. Also, I've got the Pactena 2040 infed half wave. So I've got actually, if you can see behind me, the back window of the Bronco is open, and I've got the transformer back there. I've got it on a 30-foot, 10-meter mast in the middle, where the 20-meter and the 40-meter segment extension pair together. And then, so it goes up at an angle, hits that apex, and then comes back down, basically creating an inverted V. So one of the things that you have to make sure you do when you create an inverted V is that you keep that angle between your two wires at a certain distance. You get too close together, you kind of make it becomes a folded dipole at that point, but I think that's what they call it, a folded element, nonetheless. But it starts interfering with your standing wave. So I think 120 degrees is that angle that you want to keep between your element when you fold it like that or invert it. So it's there. It tends to work pretty well. I like doing a little bit some different stuff, like the inverted L is another one that I will do. I think the 20-meter segment, I don't know, it seems shorter. I haven't actually measured it, but it seems shorter. So I can typically put the transformer down here at the bottom, put the split between the two up at the top, and then run it like as an inverted L or a flat top. And that tends to work pretty well too. Unfortunately, some of it you have to deal with. Right now I'm in a public area because of needing decent internet to live stream. So I got to kind of be mindful of that. And I don't know if you can see it out there, but on the out right off the edge of the hood for the Bronco at the end of the trail site there's a couple small trees that sit out there on the other side of the trail, and my wire's coming down and I'm tied off in that tree up a little bit higher, and that's up high enough that somebody walking up that trail coming from the waterfront isn't gonna be a hazard. Now, obviously, you want to make sure from a radiation standpoint when you're doing this that you're not right on top of people. There is a radiation hazard in the sense that there could be RF burns. There's a whole calculation and stuff that you should do every so often, just to make sure what you're doing is good. But so obviously I'm not gonna, when I see people coming up the trail, I'm gonna stop transmitting. Now, it's non-ionizing radiation, meaning that it's not going to cause cancer or do anything, but there is that harm of the physical burn. And actually, this conversation just came up. Josh Nass, Ham Radio Crash Course, couple of years ago, took some hot dogs and stuck it right on the active element of an antenna that had 1,500 watts of power running through it, and I think it was 12 or 1,500. It was well in excess of 1,000 watts, and it barely did any damage. But that, kind of maybe burned it a little bit, but definitely didn't really raise the temperature. So the point being that it can happen, and you need to be conscious of that when you're operating and stuff like that out in a public area. Generally, I love to operate away from people. Not that I'm anti-people, but then that way it doesn't become a problem and things like that. Joe says, so what we're saying is fall. Okay. So what you're saying is if we all make our way to Morgan Monroe, we can help you operate. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the funnest hobby out there. Did he mention back in April that he got to operate the radio room from the USS Alabama? That is cool. I have never done that. I've never done that. I just saw somebody on, I think it was Instagram, might have been X, was able to operate from the USS Iowa BB-61 from I think Los Angeles is where that museum ship is housed. What was cool was that the USS Iowa was still in active service when I was in the Navy, and I had an opportunity. A friend of mine from high school here in town was a machinist mate on the USS Iowa, and so when I was there in Virginia, I connected up with him, and he took me on the ship, and I got an opportunity to walk around and see the ship from obviously a different light. And that's the downside to the upside of the museum ships are that, people get an opportunity to see the tour. The downside is that it's a curated tour. It's a public tour, and some of it for safety reasons. And some of it just because, they want to make a good presentation. So there's only so much that they get an opportunity to show, because it does cost money to run those ships and those operations. I don't know what that financial cost looks like, but I know just here recently, the New Jersey, which is another Iowa class battleship, went through a major overhaul for structural stuff, the hull, things like that, where they brought it and put it into dry dock, which is very interesting. My ship was just finishing dry dock when I got to it, and I was able to actually walk underneath it and around it, stand next to the screws, which is kind of a awesome thing when you see really how big that is, but actually kind of how small it is in the big scope of things. Seth checking in this morning. Good morning, Seth. Just go do it. Absolutely. Just go do it. So I've been, it's kind of my part, I'm not gonna say retirement plan, but I'm out running around now. My family, my wife and kids don't really care to travel, but I like to get out and do things, especially in the summertime. And it's kind of shifted where, I'm going. I want to go ahead and spend more time seeing America. traveling around, getting to see things from a different perspective and everything. Good morning, Andrew, and good morning, or I guess good afternoon, or maybe even good evening for Eric. Eric says he's had more time than he cares for in the radio rooms on aboard ship, and that he's more excited to do it at home. I guess a lot of that comes from perspective, right? I never once walked into the radio room on my ship. Never once. Never wasn't allowed to. It was a space that had a you had to have a security clearance to get in there, and I had one, but that other aspect of the security clearance was that need to know, and I didn't have any purpose being in there, so I never walked in. So at best, you got was a split door at the radio room, where you would, if you needed something, you would knock, and a radio man would come over and meet you at the door and take care of whatever business they needed to take care of, and out the door you go. Well, not even out the door, just that they closed the upper half of the door. So, and Aaron says, yeah, he's stayed at several parks over the last year because of ham radio and POTA. And I think that's, that's something that is been a great thing. There's a lot of retirees that instead of just sitting around home and doing nothing, they're jumping on the road and taking off and traveling the country and doing amateur radio along the way. You've seen Jason Ham Radio 2.0. He's made a couple trips now where they'll fly somewhere and they'll rent a vehicle and go and hit national parks. That's one of his bucket list items, is to travel and hit as many national parks. I just had Eric says he needs to have an extended road trip in his camper van. Yeah, Eric, you got to stay stateside for a little while so you can do that. But that's one of those things you do when when you pick a career, right? That's a nice thing. Yeah, I guess that's a nice thing about the military. 20 years and you get a retirement, which isn't a bad deal. When you think about it, most people start at 18, 17, 18, depending on where they're at in school and everything like that. Theoretically, I guess I could have been retired at 37, 38. I started at 17 in the Navy. And would I have been further ahead or behind where I am today? I don't know. The career that I started in when I got out of the Navy and IT, I kind of grew up with the data center as a modern data center as we know it today. And actually that was just basically a closet, a room, a storeroom, an extra room or something like that in a building. The IT guy for a company was basically the poor sucker who had enough interest as a hobby and had a computer at home, and then all of a sudden they became the IT people. So I grew up in that era to where we're at today. So, but one of the guys that works for me, if I was in his shoes, right? If I was him, just starting or just getting into it, or maybe 4 or 5 years ahead, would I be further ahead or behind had I stayed in the military for 20 years? And I think it's a toss-up. The upside of it is I would have 20 years of work experience that I could take somewhere. And I'd also have a retirement. So, maybe changing careers wouldn't be that big of a deal because I would have money coming in. It may not be the most money, the best money. I mean, you'd have retirement income and you would have medical. covered to a certain degree. It may not be the best in the world, but it it is basic healthcare. So that's one of those things. So one of the things that kind of crossed the path the other day was that, I don't know if you guys remember Tom Green. Tom Green was a comedian and kind of jokester that popped up in MTV and movies and stuff like that. And he has a show called Tom Green's Farm or something along those lines, but it's a thing that's on Crave TV, which is a Canadian network, kind of like USA Network or something along those lines. But it's or a home and garden type thing. Eric says retirement is different now, not not a great a deal as it used to be. Thankfully, I'm still on the old retirement plan. And, I've noticed that things are different now for service members than what it was when I separated. And I have to assume that a lot of that is it with having a multi-generational war. There's a lot of vets with extra needs and stuff like that, medical, that I'm assuming that because of there were so many that that shifted things. It's a shame. I know, for example, caught one of the plans here in Indiana. Part of the reason why I still live here is, as a disabled vet, regardless of your percentage of disability, 10% and up is what is considered with a service connected disability. I guess there's some zero, but basically 10% or up is the minimum that you would get for any kind of compensation. Those veterans get basically supported college, state supported college for your children, with no strings. Just basically, you get 10% up, your kids get to go to school at a state support college, and in this case, Purdue University, one of the top engineering schools in the country, Indiana University, your national football champions, but also one of the best law schools and one of the best medical schools. So not a bad thing. Ball State University is another one if you're going to be a teacher or an architect. A lot of them go there. So those are the three big ones here in Indiana, and then we have several other smaller schools that are covered in that too. It just has to be a state sports school, but also you can use it for other things like aviation. If you want to get some technical certifications and stuff, you can use it there too. So a lot of cool things with that. But Green, back to this thing, popped up, but he kind of made his way into the news, and let's see if I can't. What did I do with it? I know I did it. I know a lot of people were upset about this, but I kind of see it honestly no different than boiler up. Oh man, I'm sorry. The noise canceling came in again. So this kind of popped up, and some people were mad, I guess, about this. There's some stank on Reddit, and I'll put a link to the video. If I can share it here real quick, I will. But I don't honestly see what he's doing is much different than what I'm doing here, or some of the other people. I remember to share this with audio. Maybe. So this is Tom out on his farm. This is a show.
Hey Bill, how you doing? It's Tom.
The kind of the extent of it goes a little bit longer. I'll put the link. Actually, here, let's grab the link. So he's actually not doing anything different than what we are here, and I just thought that was really weird. But like I said, it popped up in all across the socials, and of course, you know, some people are popping their tops over it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat there. But other than that, let's get on the air, start making some contacts. So go ahead and bring some stuff in here. Did the audio come through okay, by the way, or was it choppy or anything? Paige said audio was good. And good morning, Dave. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot.
Where?
Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot.
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Quebec 4, Hotel Zulu, Kilo.
Kilo Quebec 4, Hotel Zulu Kilo. Good morning, Aaron, 59++.
Hey, good morning, Tim. Yeah, good signal this morning. The wires definitely make a difference. 5-9 down here in Kentucky.
It sounds good, my friend. Are you at home or are you out in the park?
I'm actually at home right now. I may be heading out later, but at home right now.
It sounds good, my friend. Thank you for the contact. Have a great day today in 73.
You do the same, Tim. 73.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ. Is there a whiskey for Oscar Golf Whiskey?
Roger, Tim. Got you 5 by 757 on the east side of Virginia. Victor Alpha this morning. I'm down at the farm, 20 watts.
I copied the 20 watts, my friend. Thank you for the contact today. You're about a 5.5, 55 right now.
Great time with the activation, man. And good job on YouTube there. Watch it all the time. Thanks a lot, brother. 73.
All right, 73, my friend. Have a great day today. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Morning, Cooley. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
And you gotta love that auto voice thing.
CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Echo 6, Golf Alpha Echo.
Kilo Echo 6, Golf Alpha Echo. Dave, good morning, 5-9.
Hey, good morning, Tim. A little rough this morning. It's unusual. I can't hardly hear you, but I got you about a 5-4 this morning.
I'll take the 5-4, my friend. Sorry. I don't know if you were seeing there. I just found a tick walking across my computer. I hate this place. No, I love this place. I don't like ticks though.
Oh no. If I was out doing a park right now and I had a computer, she saw my wife saw one of those on the computer, she'd be blowing the car up.
That's never any fun, Dave. Hey, appreciate the contact this morning. Thank you. And 73.
Hey, 73. Thanks for being out there activating.
All right. Thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
All right. Well, maybe 20 is not, or 40 is not it today. Let's go ahead and switch bands over to.
Well, not to the pump on that end, but
Yeah, it's always wonderful when the household has a CFO that does an outstanding job on that end. So, Dr. Robert, I'm not going to tie it up. I'm going to give it up. I just looked at the clock and Florida. I never did.
All right. Well, you can see here on the. Let's go ahead and bring it up. So looking at the graph here across the band, and if you guys aren't familiar with it, if you go into the SWR, this will take segments. You can do your span and how many samples you want it to take. So it doesn't do a full sweep. Well, I guess like an SWR meter, but it does step through there right now across the board. Although it's red, it looks red. That's not bad. We're just a little over 1.5 to 1. And remember, we're operating portable, so I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time trying to squeeze every bit of performance out of it like I would at a home station. But the IC7300 Mark II has a integrated tuner. It's a 3-to-1 tuner, meaning that our impedance is, if on a 50 ohm system, 1.5 to 1, it's half of another. So 75 ohms is basically where at 1.5 to 1, and we're somewhere under that. So somewhere between 75 ohms and 100 ohms of impedance at that sample point. So if it's under 150 ohms, the integrated tuner can handle it without any issues at full power, so 100 watts. So I am going to hit the tune button, and then we can come back and resample this. Just so I hit the button again, and then I'm keying the mic, and it's going to each one of those points along the way, and basically a 1-to-1. So not a big deal. I don't know 1-to-1 if that's really truly what it is, but that's what it's reading at that point in that very given second. That's the one nice thing about an NFET half wave. 40, 20, 15, and 10 are and I don't want to use the word resonant band, but will produce a good impedance at with a 49 to 1 transformer, meaning that it's 49 times higher than 50 ohms. And that relationship around the toroid of the coils, transformer, and it brings in and transforms that impedance down to something closer to 50 ohms to make the radio happy. I don't if everybody is seen those. I know Mike, KMRD Mike, does a lot with linked infed half waves, where he'll find the magic spot in between 15 and 10, put a break in there in the line, and then put a link that you can separate, a little banana plug, if you're familiar with the wires on these antennas, because they're only like a 26 gauge wire, and separate it so it will shorten the length of the antenna and make a band like 12 meters more resonant, or 17 meters more resonant, or 30 meters more resonant, where you get the same performance, where you don't have to transform it to get to it. So let's find a frequency on 20. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Thanks for another part.
Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is the frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. I'm going to have to get one of those, Dave. Check that out. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey 4, Oscar Golf Whiskey.
Whiskey 4, Oscar Golf Whiskey. George, good to get you on a second band today.
Yeah, you go, Tim. It's a little noisy over here in Virginia on the radio, but you're making it out at 5x7 still, 5x7 on 20 here. St. George, Virginia.
I copied the 5.7 on 20 watts from down here, my friend. You're still 5.5, 55. All right, 73, my friend, and Navy on, and POTA on. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Station ending in Golf Mike. Kilo Yankee 4, Golf Mike. David, good morning. You're about a 5.5, 55. I'll take the 5.3 into South Carolina, my friend. How you doing today?
7-3. I'm doing well. On a couple of different things. 7-3.
All right, sounds good, my friend. I hope to see you down in Huntsville this year. 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Was that Kilo Juliet 5 Golf Charlie Hotel?
QSL, you're 5'8", North Texas this morning.
I copied the 5.8, my friend. You're about a 5.5, 55.
Roger. Thanks for the activation, 73.
All right, 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ.
Kilo Echo 6, Golf Alpha Echo.
Kilo Echo 6, Golf Alpha Echo. Dave, good morning. 5.9 for the new band.
Hey, good morning, Tim. A lot better on 20 meters this morning. Something's going on. Bands are strange because I got T58 down here in the mic off here today.
I copied the 5.8 into Missouri this morning. Thank you for the contact in 73.
73. Thanks for being out there.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ.
Delta Lima 9, Papa Kilo, Victor Echo 3, stroke, Delta Lima 9, Papa Kilo.
The Delta Lima 9 station?
Victor Echo 3, stroke, Delta Lima 9, Papa Kilo. This is Victor Echo 3, stroke, Delta Lima 9, Papa Kilo.
All right, there we go. Victor Echo 3, stroke, Delta Lima 9, Papa Kilo. Good morning. You are about a 5.7, 57 in the park this morning.
Yeah, roger that. We do have a strong setting here. Good morning, Tim.
Roger. Thank you for Ontario this morning. Have a great day in 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. See you, Eric. Have a good day. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
So real quick, I'm going to put a poll
CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ
in the
Parks
chat
on
here
air
real
and
quick.
standing by.
So should I move the show to 10 a.m.? Obviously,
CQ POTA,
Big Jim and T.O. are not doing the Sunday morning show anymore. And that show has been moved to the Oscar Bravo station.
Thank you. It's Whiskey Bravo 5, Oscar Bravo. I've got 257 Oklahoma, Tim.
All right, Whiskey Bravo 5, Oscar Bravo. Dennis, got you in the log. You were about a 5.858, and I think you said 5.7.
Yeah, I got 257. Thanks for the part. 73.
All right, 73, my friend. Have a great day today. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ.
November 7, Hotel India.
November 7, Hotel Radio. Frederick, good morning, 5-9.
It's November 7, Hotel India, and I have you as a 5757 into Southwest Missouri. Mike Oscar.
Scott, sorry about that. Made the correction. Copied the 5.7. You're 5.9 in the park.
Okay, thank you for your park and your activation. Have a great day. 7-3.
All right, 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ.
This is Alpha Delta 4, November Charlie.
Alpha Delta 4, November Charlie, 5.7.
You're up to 55 in North Carolina, 5-5.
I copied the 5.5, my friend. Thank you for the contact this morning, 73.
7-3, my friend.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air or standing by. So what I was asking in the poll, if you want to put one for, should I move the show to 10 o'clock? Since that slot's open right now, maybe now's the time to do it. Or if 9 o'clock is fine too. I'm good with either one of those. So one, if you want to move it, see me move it to 10 o'clock, or two, staying here at 9 o'clock is Eastern. These are Eastern time. So I understand that, some of them Yeah, you might be on the West Coast, and 9 a.m. is 6 a.m. for you locally. So, yeah, one or two.
Hotel Alpha Romeo.
The Hotel Alpha Romeo station.
Kilo 1, Hotel Alpha Romeo.
Kilo 1, Hotel Alpha Romeo. Charles, good morning, 5-9.
Good morning, 5 and 5.
Thank you for the 5-5 this morning. Have a great day today in 73.
7-3.
All right, thank you. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Huh. Well, there are people spotted. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. All right, well. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot going QRT. All righty, well, did get 11 contacts in there, so not the end of the world. And David mentioned, I was looking at that list of contacts. I'm like, that's a lot of contacts. It's a spotting page. 12 contacts. There we go. So I was, David mentioned that it seemed like the bands had just kind of dropped. Dave, Hillbilly Ham, Dave mentioned that. Steve, that is on my list of things to do, is to go ahead and download the desktop app with the cat control and see how that works. So that will probably be something that I do today. But right now I was just looking. We've got about 100 people watching the stream between the various platforms, X, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Do me a favor, guys, share this stream. And if you have it, up in the top corner, there is I yell at people for pointing on stream. Up there in the top corner of your screen is a a QR code for the mailing list. Make sure you get subscribed to that. That mailing list is how I communicate with people. I'm just going to grab the link here real quick, put it in the chat. That is probably the best way to find out what's going on, where I'm at, if I change the time of the show, things like that, giveaways. And I do have a giveaway coming up. Probably do it on the kids table. One of the projects I'm working on right now, I've got parts coming in, and when I buy parts, buying a toroid or buying some capacitors, it's just better to buy them in bulk and get a bunch of them. I can spend $3 for 2, or $5 for 100. So I'm going to buy 100 of these things, and I printed a few extras out. But Digitenna, Dennis, the DigiRig, also makes an antenna. It's a spool type antenna that he sells, but he also has given the parts out, or the plans and everything for the community to make these things. So I'm making one, but once again, I buy extra parts and stuff like that. So I'm going to give away probably a couple kits for people to make those too. So, it's those kind of things, and how you get signed up and find out about that stuff. Andrew says he's making one of those too. Yeah, it seems fairly simple and good project to do. So we'll do that. But make sure you get signed up in there for today. That is weird. All right, that does not share very well. That's interesting. Sorry, got to get the tab back here. All right, so these are the contacts that I made. Made 12 contacts. Red ones are 20 meters, and the blue ones are 40 meters. And then obviously Dave, I made 2 contacts with, one on 20, one on 40. And then George out here in Virginia, I also made 2 contacts with, one on each band. So that is enough to officially activate the park. Like to get more. I'm going to probably stick around here for a little bit and see if the bands pick up. But otherwise, I'm going to get out of here, guys. You have a great, enjoy the rest of the holiday weekend. Have a great day today. Spend some time with your family, and get out there, and we will catch everybody later. Wednesday night, Ham Radio Kids Table, and we'll go from there. Everybody have a great day. 73.